information. So I seriously give information, but black people are people of rhythm and spirit. So I also give inspiration.
Where I go day to day, if Nkrumah no dream for me. Where we go day to day, if Sankara no dream for we. Fumilayo, my Arimba, I need them dream. Where I go day to day, if Govara no dream for me. So I dey carrying on the mission, carrying on the dream, carrying on the torch. For a long time, we dey feel this pain, we dey feel this hurt. I said their blood keep calling me, giving me this warrior energy. I said their sacrifice and dedication, African revolution. So many want that good life, want that new thing, they want that new house. Yeah, designer clothes and shoes, lavish like the rulers they do. Designer bags and jewelry, lavish like the rich men they do. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Get in touch with us at Radio2Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07 55 18030.
Good morning, people of Leicester. Happy 26th of January, Thursday morning, 5 degrees C. Frost has gone. The de-icer is back in my glove box in my car. The weather's getting better. The light is getting better. What a wonderful, crisp, fresh, but still a bit chilly day as well. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Arts Business Show on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM. That's Sean Cootie and Black Thoughts, African Dreams, kicking off the show. So, what have we got on today's show? Well, we got money and partnerships and marriage, how to deal with it, what does that mean? We're going to be looking also at if you've got a community group, if you've got a project going on, some marketing thoughts about how you can best get your message out there and get more and more people coming and visiting that as well. We'll look at promotion for artists for next week, but that's what we're going to kick off with today. We're going to look at some bulletin boards. We're going to look at some roundup. We're going to drip in some music. We're going to do lots of other things as well. And if you want to engage with the show, you can drop me a message via the live chat, I believe, on the Restream Facebook. So if you're watching live, thank you very much for sparing the time, joining me in and the company and all the rest of it. Without further ado, let's crack on with some more music. And this is Braveheart, Dunno Cranium, for your delight.
Success. Mama said money is human petrol and some stress. So I taught myself how to go invest. So I know how to grow these checks. Cause it ain't no fun if you're broke, have none. So I hustle out to get these funds. Cause you want who you hang with, so lift them up. So you can do convoy at them West End clubs. When I feel me about popping champagne, girl, bear me dog, them shake, and my friend, them there for me. They know me love them like me want me secure the goal so them can't block me. Sexy girl link up because them want risk it all for me. Every girl want it and me walk up for me. Hey, I like the vibe you bring it, girl, just back it up for me. Express yourself, let go, don't worry. Who is watching? We from daylight to the sundown. Realness, dance all around. Big rides when we touch road. Pass me the key to the phantom. Hey, we break all winners round this way, so we gonna be okay. We're doing 0 to 1 in all 6 days. Go and I go no way. If it ain't about money, then miss me. The money calling and she telling me she miss me. My click your fingers on the money and it's it change. Show me the money like tomorrow, but today. Yeah, do better, do better. Yeah, me I gotta do better, break better, love better. Yeah, me I gotta think better, work better, hurt better. Yeah, gotta think it better, live better, give better. Yeah, 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 yeah. We break all winners round this way, so we gonna be okay. We're doing 0 to 1 in all 6 days. Go and I go no way. If it ain't about money, then miss me. The money calling and she telling me she miss me. My click your fingers on the money and it's it change. Show me the money like tomorrow, but today.
This is Radio 2 Funky.
It is indeed Radio 2 Funky 95F broadcasting FM, broadcasting over the internet. So again, thank you for your company. Thank you for being one of the many thousands of loyal and growing listeners here on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM here. This is your host, Mahmoud Reza, looking after you on the Arts Business Show between now and 12 o'clock with a combination of chat, some good music, some rambling thoughts and all the rest of it, reading from my wonderful script, a bulletin board here as well, and just having a good old chinwag. And if you want to sort of contribute, if you want to send in me a message, you've got loads of ways to get in contact with the show. We have got the burner phone in the office, a great Line of Duty reference there. So if I just tell you what that number is, it is.
Get in touch with us at Radio 2 Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07554 18030.
You can also get in contact with us via email, info@radio2funky.co.uk. So if you've got something you want to share, perhaps put something on the bulletin board, contact Sam at radio2funky.co.uk. We can share it, and all the DJs during the week, if it's on the bulletin board, will share it with our hundreds of millions and gazillions of listeners there as well. If Ofcom you're listening there, that was an exaggeration on the listener figures there, so I throw that one in as well. You can also hop onto the website, www.radio2funky.co.uk. You've got the landline 01162 55 9837. And also you can join in on the chat on the live stream here. Got a comment to share. And if you want to appear, I've got a new content plan being unveiled in February. Once the vagaries and the frenetic behaviour of the tax season is out of the way, new content plan being unveiled. So if you want to be a guest on the Arts Business Show, if you've got a community project, you're an artist, an educator, something you want to share with our listeners, a social group, community group, charity, whatever that you think is going to benefit the people of Leicester and beyond, let me know. Email info@radio2funky.co. Mark it Arts Business Show as well, and we can have a chat. Shall we have a tune, folks? Let's have another tune. This is You Anthem by Samantha Feet, King Perry and Toya.
Yo, man, how you doing? Guy, just fucking release that song, innit? Fucking let me cash, man. Okay?
DJ Kanye with the sauce.
Yeah, oh mommy, I don't fall for this bit. So my way I suppose concentrate, but you know if you leave my mind, come make you run away. Come make you run away. She make it bad my place, and she bad like that. Got a nigga moving like a mannerless child. I'm on me, everybody on style. Back it up for me, make a pull up and slide. Wait, baby, do you wanna up my Mercedes? Baby, do you wanna up my Mercedes? When you ready, mama, hopping on me, girl, let's go steady, nah. Yeah, you need to calm down. Cause if on my head, they give me smart down. Yeah. Share you see me, 10 over 10 like that to see. Cause I got that BTE, make up be your company. Your company, you got is all I really need. Money, none if you need. So you go to be, oh, yeah. You wanna have my Mercedes, make up down for your playlist. I go drive you crazy, make I spend all my money on top of this body. Money, none if you need. So you go to be, oh, yeah. Mommy, I don't fall for this babe. So now we are supposed to concentrate. But you know if you leave my mind, Mama, come make you run away. Yeah. Mama, come make you run away. Yeah.
Oh, I did tell you, not tell I travel. I was born in the late 90s. Baby, you know them other girls on there, they be way behind me. Been there a long time, we have to find you. Shit, you go there, why me? Sexually liberated, why you gon' make me wait? Just to see you naked, what's it gonna be money? Mentally, I'm exhausted, problem not shot it. Anytime I'm all day, why you gon' make me wait? I'll make you run away, run away. I'll make you run away.
DJ Kanye with the sauce.
I'll make you run away.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio2Funky or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
Welcome back, folks. Here, so the anthem, Smelly King Perry and Toya is 10:19. I haven't given you a weather check yet. According to the weather forecast, it's 5 degrees. It's a bit drizzly, bit raining and all the rest of it. But the great thing is there is a no frost, which is great. First thing in the morning when I get up at work for work, about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's fine. There's no defrosting on the vehicle. I sort of reverse my car in the drive and have it the other way around. But so far, everything is been cool. And it's going to get warmer. We're not that far away from spring. We're nearly out of January as well. I can't believe how quickly it has gone. And I should add, today on the 26th of January, it's the month of Aquarius. So if you have a birthday today, you share it with Jose Mourinho. You share it with Ellis DeGeneres. And you share it with lots of other folks as well. And when I was checking famous birthdays for today, I was just looking on a couple of sites on famous birthdays. And it's amazing all these people who are making their popularity in different channels, different ways, in terms of YouTube, TikTok, and the like there as well. And so that, in terms of making me think, actually, in terms of promotion, in terms of new careers, people develop themselves through technology and all the rest of it. But anyway, I digress. If it's your birthday, hope you get time to celebrate, hope you get time to enjoy it. And if you are an Aquarius, and if it is your birthday today, enjoy it. Let us know on the show how you're intending to spend the day itself. So shall we get on to the music, folks? As a heads up, after 10:30, we're going to be talking money and marriage, but I'm going to sort of expand it a little bit about money in relationships, how it can be a bad thing, how to manage it, how to minimize those arguments. Do you know, money discussions, if I can call it that, in relationships is probably one of the biggest reasons why couples have fractious rows and they break up, is because how they deal with money. So for what it's worth, I'm going to share some thoughts on that, some tips on how we go about it, as well as looking at the reasons why it happens in the first place. This is a song called Picanto by Odin Black, Zatan and Echo Miles. And this is a wonderful track. I hope you enjoy it.
Black shit for life, back for advice, guys. My matter all guns start shooting records with the black, you get me. If he's in the building, they know I came in a Picanto. They might don't more. You go contact. They know I came in a Picanto. 200 men, they might don't more. Pussy gates man, you go contact. Wait, we there. Hold out, check out, Jama, we there. Check out, Jama. We squeeze, we march. Come on. Waiting I go do for you. Dash give me clothes, make I then get post. Before we go match, I go see Babu. Fizo dey my back, he dey bolingo. Shayo dey the room, desperado, now why we mezebo. The bag away been scatter settings for my CC, cause he been the final mother lord. Today we go pump and blow them, and come, we don't fit to breathe. The bag away been scatter settings for my CC, cause he been the final mother lord. Today we go pump and blow them, you don't fit to. They know I can't do. They might don't more, cause he gets mad, he go contact. They know I can't, they began 200 men, they might don't more.
I say, but I got away my face to the say enemies. That plenty money must be made by enemies. I be your papa no go like they get put inside Rosary with two bad from Miami. Ebelebe now come correct they get party. Number where your sister they call it sugar daddy. Odumodu now we see koro when we the soca we such a guy. We must get that daddy. You go fear where you see cartel when we started. Them Lucas less, I don't be man now everything blessed. Now people stop me say sabi pesi money have it done day my sis like that. Kuyaga, we umeta, we usketa. Stop anybody who my shot and dagger. Tabakuri wali o ma say my jagger. Big nothing join me with Saka.
They know I came in a big gun. 200 men, they might don't more. Pussy gates man, they go contact.
A Bobby Road bully make a brass. I no get time to partake, now he make a ass. Now the rubber in my mind, I no need to cast. I don't grind, I don't find, I no to the cap.
It be like say, the thing don't cast. It be like say, okay they don't crash, she go jogodo. Drop better high, she go follow go. Secure the bag and base. Throw away for yash and face. Bullets, so they not craze by craze, we go softer. Hey lady, crash my place, I go fuck now. I go block down.
This is Radio2Funky.
Broadcasting on 95 FM, Leicester's premier black music and art station. And this is the Arts Business Show, which brings an combination. Talking about arts is a very wide thing, talking about social groups, community groups, charities, social enterprises, arts organisations, freelancers, anything in that sort of space here. My background predominantly is not as a performer, an entertainer, and all the rest of it, even though I like to think I keep trying to do my best to keep you entertained on the radio. But it's about bringing that world of arts and business and fusing them here, showing some thoughts and parallels and stuff that could be really useful in both spaces as such. And a bit just general chit-chat throughout the show. Now, coming up, as I said, after 10:30, money. So are you out wishing to be too personal? Are you married? Are you in a relationship? Do you and your partner share a household? What do you like with money between the two of you? What's your attitude to money? Do you have fights? Do you have disagreements? Is it all harmonious? How do you organise things here? Money, as I said, it is that topic for a number of reasons that can really cause friction, cause problems. There may be hidden resentment. It may be dealt with very adequately, may be dealt with very positively here. So I'm going to explore that theme after 10:30. We're also going to be looking at marketing, just sharing some thoughts about if you've got a community group, a project, what can you do to get your message out there, to market it. We're going to explore the idea of what marketing is, and I'm going to share some practical tips with you about what you can do to enhance the impact, the engagement, and getting more people to come and either buy off you, visit your exhibition, participate in your project, all those weird and wonderful things that we think we know are really important if we're running a project, if we're running a social enterprise group, whatever it is, you can adapt that for it. So 10:26 coming up to 10:30, and we've got a lovely temperature at 5 degrees outside. It's clear, it's bright, it's sharp. Make sure you stay wrapped up warm. And this is a Fuego by H.
Yeah. Okay though. Okay though. Yeah. Okay though. 100K 100k, that's on Play-Doh. Collie Ranger Bentaygo. Sunny day in my raincoat. Yeah. Fuego. Ignite the flame when I say so. It's bay with my chain on. See my face, you can't say no. Yeah. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, yeah. Strap with no safety. Big Mac in the case, yeah. Chats in the safe, yeah. Blacked out the rave, yeah. In my zone, off the ground like I quit the cop some land, a few cribs to boast. On demand with no post. Risky roads, off the camera, what's in the lot of bands, I got pinky rolls. Wash my hands with some 50 notes. Rolling like it's stolen, ain't no tints in the whip. Shot it, pull up on me, popped up, she tricks. Drop and I just freeze up my wrist. Got a couple models trying to creep round the crib. Yeah. Okay though, 100k, that's on Play-Doh. Collie Ranger Bentaygo. Sunny day in my raincoat. Yeah. Fuego. Ignite the flame when I say so. It's bay on my chain on. See my face, you can't say no. Yeah. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Shit with me. Pull up on her, put the to sleep. Come with the Jeep. Had too much fun and left on the seats. Double the fee and tell them I'm coming with a couple of freaks. 200 at least. I didn't just come here to jump on the beat. Rats up, little man, get your stats up. Sipping yak, getting mad up. Shit. Yeah, catch up, run your mouth and get smacked up. Bun him down if you act up. Cut the clout, I don't chat much. I'ma slide right in. Chop his hands off, it was tight writing. Call the chauffeur, I don't like driving. Bro got his poker, tryna mic mines him. Okay though, 100k, that's on Play-Doh. Collie Ranger Bentaygo. Sunny day in my raincoat. Yeah, fuego. Ignite the flame when I say so. It's bay on my chain on. See my face, you can't say no. Yeah, rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa. Rats up, stay down. Up, face down. Park up, space out. Cut, whoa.
Get in touch with us at Radio2Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07 55 44 18030.
Folks, just Fuego H, and just coming up to 10:30, I think we can slip in a bulletin or two. So on the 25th of January, which is gone, so there's no point in me reading that one out here. So this is a live here. You ever fancied the idea of DJ presenting? We're going to expand on that after the break, but let me read out this bulletin. So we are looking, and that we is Radio2Funky, looking for DJs and presenters, ideally between 16 and 35, to join our wonderful team. If you like music, if you love music, if you think yourself as a tastemaker, get involved. You don't need actually experience. You're going to get some wonderful training and support. You'll give them full training and guidance. You're going to be joining a wonderful radio family, great management team, great behind the scenes support and all the rest of it. And if you want to find out more, then email info@radio2funky.co.uk.
Got what it takes to be a presenter? Or looking to gain valuable experience behind the scenes in radio? Why not join us at Radio2Funky? To get involved or for more information, contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Radio2Funky.
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Let's trace the hits and check the file. Let's see who bit the dissect the style. I flip the script so it can't get filed. At least not now, it'll take a while. I change the pace to complete the beat. I drop the bass to MCs get weak. For every road they trace is a scar they keep. Cause when I speak, they freak to sweat the technique. I made my debut in '86 with a melody in a president's mix, and now I stay on target and refuse to miss. And I still make hits for beats, parties, clubs, and cars and jeeps. My underground sound vibrates the streets. MCs wanna beef, then I play for keeps. When they sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. know how many bombs have I ripped and wrecked, but researchers never found all the pieces yet. Scientists try to solve the context, philosophers are wondering what's next. Pieces took to lab to observe them. They couldn't absorb them, they didn't deserve them. My ideas are only for the audience ears. For my opponents, it might take years. Pencils, pens, and swords. Letters put together from a key to cause. I'm also a sculpture, born with structure. Because of my culture, I'm a quick instructor. Technical style that'll be full of technology. Complete sights and new heights after I get deep. You don't have to speak, just see. And peep the technique. Don't sweat the technique. I speak indiscreet, cause talking cheap. Then I get deep in the beat, then complete. Prolificate, never weak or obsolete. They never grow old. Techniques become antique. Better than something brand new, cause it's original. In the wild style I have much more value. Classical, too intelligent to be radical. Masterful, never irrelevant, mathematical. Here's some soothing souvenirs for all the years. You fought to sort the thoughts and ideas. It's cool when you freak to the beat. But don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
Are you a small business looking to get your message heard? Why not advertise with us? We have a range of ideas that can help grow your business, cut through the social media noise, and talk directly to your audience. Contact info at radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Don't believe radio works? You're listening, aren't you?
And thank you very much for listening. And folks, I should add, there's also 50%, let me repeat that once more, 50% of adverts booked in this month. You don't have to actually run the adverts in January, but you've got to book them in January here, and that's a fantastic way. Radio is probably an underused medium for getting your message out to your audience here, and that's quite pertinent here because we are going to be talking marketing, promotion later on during the show, more particularly for community groups. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to expand that and extend that out to looking at artists. What's the modern way these days, how they promote themselves. Little unknown fact, in a former life, I used to be a band manager. I used to look after before I moved from London, about five bands I used to look after. Actually, I think at one point it was all at the same time. That was quite interesting. I was in my teenage years and all the rest of it. When I came to Leicester, a few years after, I did get asked again to manage a couple of bands there, did it for a short period of time, and then decided that was not the life for me. But, learned some great stuff from there. So we're going to be talking about artists, promotion, still work with musicians and entertainers and artists. I'm going to share some tips on that specifically next week, to watch out for the flyer going out on the Facebook group and other social medias here about the show for next week. But marketing is going to come on later in the show, particularly about community projects here. And I'm going to read out another bulletin. And then we're going to have a little dip into the toe of the water of money and marriage. It was going to be money and marriage to begin with, but I think let's do it called money and partnerships, money and relationships here. It's the same concept and all the rest of it. So, now going on from now until the 19th of March, something called the Object Memory Exhibition. Now, it's called Object Memory, and it presents immersive work by 5 Leicester-based artists. Fantastic. Expect virtual reality experiences and interactive audio experience, all focusing on Leicester's club scene from the 90s. Entry, wait for it, is free. Where's it taking place, I hear you ask? Great question. It's taking place at Phoenix Cinema and Arts Centre, Friday the 20th of January, 7 p.m. And that's silly old me because it's happened. But, you know, remember, that's the launch date. It's the 20th of January. It's still going on to the 19th of March. So you've missed the launch date, but no worries. You've still got a wonderful exhibition to go and check out. And that's running up till the 19th of March. Taking place tomorrow down at the LCB depot. It's something called Last Friday. You get amazing street food, drinks, pop-up shows, art exhibitions, live comedy and music from guest DJs. So get on down to the LCB depot this Friday. Now, you've got legendary street food experience from Bamboo Street Food, New Yorkshire Pizza, Sticky Beaks and more. Tickets, I can't believe this, they're only £2 per person via www.wegottickets.com. That's the We Got Tickets website. Book from there. £2 is a steal, isn't it? To go down there, participate in a wonderful event there. So there's something for your Friday night. Put it in your diary, get it booked, get yourself down there and all the rest of it. I'll have some more radio bulletins to share with you. And if you want to add a bulletin to the bulletin board, then drop us a line at info@radio2funky.co.uk or email Sam at radio2funky.co.uk and tell us what the bulletin's about. We'll filter it, check it out, and who knows, it could be on that bulletin board, read by all the DJs during the week. So that's a great way to get your message out. Now, here's a little truism. You may share your life with your partner. You know, you may be living together, you may be married, whatever, but how is money dealt with in your relationship? Now, I don't want the juicy details as such, but it's an important topic nevertheless. You know, money is there to run the household. It's there in terms of, you know, making sure that you're spending correctly. It impacts on there. Do you have separate funds? Do you have joint funds? But it does produce tensions itself. And there are good reasons and some not so good reasons why it happens. But more importantly, we want to find out a way that we can actually make it a more harmonious topic. Lots of people don't talk about money. Money is not necessarily talked about. It does build up resentment. And it's the single biggest reason, believe it or not, for why couples split up, for why marriages break down in terms of finances comes into it. And it's the behaviour and it's the manifestations that come from that. And most of us as a nation, as people, find it very uncomfortable talking about money itself for a number of reasons. So that's something I want to explore between now and it'll probably, you know, who knows, it'll trip over to just past 11 o'clock. But before we do that, give my throat a little bit of a rest. Here's a track called Float by Fana Ooze.
Sometimes I think and wonder on everything you say. You left my love like summer, bruised me in the worst way. How does it feel? I'm trying to see how you can do that to me. Won't tell a thing. Can you make me believe? I thought it was emotion, but you were just waving through the motions. Stuck between your eyes, but I don't wanna know. So I'ma just fall. You played it cold on my heart, cold carelessly. Still never done on what it means. So I'ma just fall. Crystal blue clouds past my window. Killer and saying I was sinful. So soulless weeping a willow. Wish I could return back to How does it feel? I'm trying to see tell a thing. Can you make me believe? I thought it was emotion, but you were just weaving through the motions. Stuck between, but I don't wanna know. So I'ma just fall. You played it cold on my heart, cold carelessly. Still never done, don't wanna be. So I'ma just fall. But I don't wanna know. So I'ma just fall. Said I don't wanna know. Take me to you, show me love. So I sick of floating around, empty now. Heard you said that it could be me, can't make it stop. Let me be your sweet, don't tell me no.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Radio2Funky, or visit our website, radio2funky.co.uk.
Hi, welcome back, folks. That was Float Fana Hawaii. Sorry for that little couple of seconds of radio silence there. I've got my dials all mixed up here. So we're back in the studio. It's 10:44. Now, it's a truism that all of us have different outlooks, different attitudes, different behaviours. We wear different spectacles as to how we view the world, and it's the same with money. We've got different attitudes, different behaviours, which is great if you're living by yourself. You've only got yourself to be responsible for, but once you have a partner, you know, then it adopts and it has a completely different dynamic there as well. And those different attitudes, different behaviours, you know, but do cause friction, do create problems there as well. So if we don't want that sort of life for ourselves, if we want a more harmonious situation where it's comfortable discussing and talking about money, I'm not talking about being obsessive about it, but having a healthy relationship, there are a few things that we can actually do to improve that. And for me, it starts with, first of all, in terms of empathy and understanding each other's respective mindsets and attitudes to that. And if you are freshly moving together, or you know you're actually in a relationship already, the first thing you should do, for me, is discuss the things that your partner should be aware of. So what's your financial background? Now this might be quite heavy, so your debts, you know, any commitments that you've had historically, any previous relationships that can have an impact financially on your marriage, on your sharing your life together, on your partnership and all the rest of it. You need to make sure you've got to, in my opinion, have a full disclosure, honesty time. Honesty, empathy and transparency and the ability to conduct convivial conversations is half the battle that we need to have. So if you've got outstanding debts, credit card debts that you're a bit embarrassed to actually share, then you need to share that. You need to make your partner aware. How you go about it, I'll share with you later on. But in terms of a topic, an agenda item, it's certainly got to be done. Now, if you are somebody who's married or it's a cohabiting, you know, if you've got any previous relationships, past relationships with children involved, where there's commitments, you've got loans, student loans, all that sort of stuff, again, make your partner aware. Doesn't mean that they should shoulder the burden and take on the financial responsibility. But again, discuss those things that you might be carrying here, because if you're not resolving, if you're not carrying it and sharing it properly, it can cause a lot of emotional distress to you having to carry that burden. And, you know, if you're going to be into a partnership here, you need to make sure that you've got that squared up with your partner. Other things to do. Mindset I want to talk about in a moment. And I think before we do that, Let's hear from Mucho Humo. This is Faruque, Brian Myers, and Joe Marissa Marley, called Mucho Humo for your delight.
Brian Myers. Dreadlocks,
Hay mucho humo en el aire. El party está encendido, dale baby, caile. Todo el mundo está activo, dale prenda los lighters. El ambiente está bueno y huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana. El ambiente está bueno, huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana.
See man a walk on gully. Anyway you see me a lead. Me a where the girls them need. Man a real OG. Ever smoking OG. If me get too high OGs.
Say you know me. Follow your nose till you find me. You good at see your gal a wine me. To the rhythm timing. Check a stack of next gal a wine me. That place ya must see winery.
911, llamen de urgencia. Que llegué yo en un Ferrari, jale la emergencia. En un Italia 458 rojo Spider. Tras una seta de marihuana, ¿dónde están los lighters? Fuego, prende. De mirar al cielo el humo se ve. Así que dóblate y mami mueve. Pégame ese culo y muévelo para atrás, bebé. El ambiente está bueno y huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana. El ambiente está bueno, huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana.
Brian Myers. El ambiente está bueno, huele a marimba. De ese moño y prende la cachimba. Tranquila, tú andas con el macara cachimba. El que venga a rebuliar le damos una catimba. Ando con el trabuco. Merindica farruco. Aquí lo que prendemos son batucos. Sabor dice el directo desde California. Prenda verdadera, aquí no usamos circorni. Hay mucho humo en el aire. El party está encendido, dale baby, caile. Todo el mundo está activo, dale prenda los lighters.
El ambiente está bueno y huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana. El ambiente está bueno, huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana.
In a me palm, me a crush a jar of marijuana. Live for today, come unsure about tomorrow. Till tomorrow.
El ambiente está bueno, huele a marihuana. Hoy el party no se acaba hasta mañana.
Man like Faruque, bouncing like Hugo. Them in the flow, you know the thing go. Brian Myers, I murder the track like Michael Myers.
La oscuridad, Brian Myers. Mira, dímelo, Faru. Andamos gangalí. Noqueándolo como Mohamed Ali. Ando con Farru y con John Versa. Vestido de Gucci, vestido de Versa.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Radio2Funky, or visit our website, radio2funky.co.uk.
Now, have you ever had a fight or a clash of temperaments with your partner over money? Well, you'd be not pleased, but actually that's probably the discussions and the conversations not actually about money directly, but it's probably reflecting other stuff that's going on under the surface. Our sort of attitudes to money, how we react to money is typically formed and forged by a whole combination of complex factors. So your background, your social group, your family upbringing. Money may not have been that topic that was discussed much in the household. You may have come from a household, I know it certainly was, where money was very scarce. I'm one of 9 children, where money, where effectively you've got that fear of going into debt. You may have had that situation in your life there where you've been with somebody and, the how they've conducted themselves has left you with debts and all the rest of it. Maybe you've come from a situation where it's relatively affluent and circumstances have changed. But whatever's going on, your family, you maybe never had a job before, you maybe had to work from a very early age. All our background experiences here, even if you're in the same household, our DNA, our structures, our evolution of our temperaments here are all shaped by all those different experiences here. And that's what we bring to a relationship there as well. So when you have that clash of temperaments, when you have those fallings out, when you have those heated conversations, then it could be reflective of that. So you need to understand where your partner's coming from. As I said, money could have been that taboo subject, never discussed. So again, finding that quiet time, that neutral zone here to have that open discussion about that. I'm not suddenly saying, you know, somebody comes home from work, you say, oh, by the way, how's your day? And then whoosh here. But you need to try and find a way, a mechanism a way to actually air that and discuss that and all the rest of it. And that is going to have, once you've got understanding where somebody's coming from, it's always easy then to forge something together to try and actually react more positively itself. Now, I'm not suggesting, by the way, folks, that everybody out there has an acrimonious relationship with their partners over money. All I'm just saying is that it's one of those things that doesn't often get talked about. There may be things that you've actually got as goals and objectives, which your partner may not be aware of. So it's when you're coming together, we want the best for you itself. Now, this is a wonderful song by Usher. It's called Superstar.
This is for you, my number one. This is for you, my number one. This is for you, my number one. Spotlight, big stage, 50,000 fans screaming it away. Bodyguards and limousines, this is the way I see you in my dreams. Paparazzi flash, 100 pictures all of you hanging on my bedroom wall. I'm a kid again, I feel like 13, but I mean, since we fell in love, girl, I've been your groovy baby. Oh, 'cause you are my superstar, yeah. I'm your number one fan, give me your autograph, sign it right here on my heart. I'll be your groovy baby. Oh, 'cause you are my superstar, yeah. 'Cause you're number one fan. This is for you, that I can show you, my number one. Front row, there I am, jumping and hollering, waving both hands. Would you notice me, little me? Drove 12 hours, girl, just to see your pretty face one more time. On my ticket, I was first in line. This is a metaphor to show how I adore you, baby. I do. Superstar, yeah. I'm your number one fan. Give me your autograph, sign right here, sugar. I'll be your groovy baby. Oh, 'cause you are my superstar, yeah. 'Cause you're number one fan. All that I can show you superstar. You're truly special. Your love is legendary to me. I never leave your world. Treat you like a diva, girl. You're all wonder. 'Cause they don't make them like you anymore. So I dedicate this to my superstar for all time. I'll be your groovy baby. You are my superstar, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm your number one fan. Give me your autograph. So
Are you a small business looking to get your message heard? Why not advertise with us? We have a range of ideas that can help grow your business, cut through the social media noise, and talk directly to your audience. contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Don't believe radio works? You're listening, aren't you?
And I'm glad you are, folks, listening to Leicester's premier black music and art station with your host Mahmood here. It is 10:57 and some seconds, coming up to 11 o'clock. So we have a situation. We had Usher just there with Superstar, and we're talking about money, and this is likely to spill over past 11 o'clock here. And then after 11 o'clock, also, we're going to be talking marketing, community groups, projects, etc. Some tips, things to share, and then some practical stuff there as well. And then next week, we're going to be talking particularly about artists and how they promote themselves and actually get more downloads and records sold and all the rest of it. Who doesn't want that for themselves? Now, if you are in that partnership, you're sharing the same household, and it comes to finances here, make sure you both got the same outcome objectives here. Typically, it's useful. Couples don't always do that. Share what's their big prize going forward, whether it's a holiday, whether it's early retirement, whether it's buying something, whether it's going on some training, some courses, some studying, and all the rest of it. And as time goes on, life changes, doesn't it? Our expectations change, our priorities shift as time goes by, whether that's influenced by where you are in your life, whether you're studying, whether you're effectively got children, whatever goes on, priorities change. Individuals' priorities change, but you've got to make sure as a couple you've got that focal point for yourselves is what's your priority, what's your objective. And again, even if you catch up and talk about this properly once every 6 months, once a year, it's always good to set that. I'm a big fan of having Northern Stars and working towards those Northern Stars, and it should be the same when you share a household with somebody and when it comes to money, doing that as well. Now, other things to bear in mind, make sure you've both got your eyes on the same prize. It's about alignment of goals. It's about the harmony of there. And now, it's not unusual that in a relationship that one person might be earning more than the other, one person might be earning, the other person not. And money represents a lot of things to people here. And it represents, to me, certainly, independence. It represents being able to do things here. And some people consciously have felt this way, is they feel they may not be contributing much to the household because they're not actually earning a big wage, not earning a great salary. And that's, for me, not the right way to actually look at it here. If you're a couple, if you're in a relationship, you each bring different things to bear on that there as well. And it may be your contributions in a different way. You may have the opportunity to earn some part-time money. You may have the opportunity to get a part-time job. Things like childcare and everything else gets in the way. But think about that. Don't divorce yourself from that, because what you don't want to be doing is to building up resentment in the other individual. You don't want that power play going on. And all these things are subtle and under the surface and all the rest of it. And I've got my favourite B word, which I'm going to talk about after we've had our main advert.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio2Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
5, 4, 3, 2, Funky! Too funky. Too funky. It's Too Funky's 26th birthday bash. Too Funky invite you to the biggest party to kickstart the new year. Too Funky's 26th birthday. Saturday, 28th of January, 10 till 5 a.m. at the Too Funky Complex, Leicester, LE3. And Too Funky's super birthday lineup features a live performance from the legend, General Levy. Incredible. General Levy drops all the hits with a live performance to blow you away. Too Funky's birthday bash, bringing the party to the dance floor all night with 6 rooms of R&B, soul, swing, hip-hop, reggae, dancehall, Afrobeats, UKG, house, jungle and classic anthems. Headlining the party, BBC One Extra's Rampage, alongside Godfathers of Garage, Norris the Boss, Windrush and MC Creed, plus the legend Chris Goldfinger, and from Soul of London Radio, Reggie Styles, with support from all your favourite DJs, plus delicious soul food on sale all night. You know tickets are already selling fast, so get yours now from skiddle.com. More info, go to 2funkycomplex.co.uk. Too Funky's 26th birthday bash, Saturday 28th of January, starring live General Levy.
COVID doesn't discriminate, so let's keep ourselves safe. Get jabbed, go out, be safe. Don't hesitate, vaccinate. If you want to find out more about a vaccination, a booster, or the nearest vaccination centre in Leicester, you should visit www.nhs.uk.
A flavour of the old school, coming live to Leicester. Ultimate R&B 90s tribute band. A fabulous night of all your favourite 90s live tracks performed, including Adina Howard, Next, TLC, Donnell Jones, Lauryn Hill, Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Notorious B.I.G. and Vogue, Montel Jordan, Tupac, Genuine, plus a whole lot more. On Saturday the 11th of February 2023 at the 2 Funky Music Cafe, New Park Street, Leicester, 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Support on the night, bringing the party anthems to the dance floor. DJs, Black Vinyl Magic, Glamour, Cypher and Attish. Tickets in advance are on sale now and moving fast via skiddle.com. Ultimate R&B 90s tribute band, bringing you an experience you will not forget. Pre-warning, bring your dancing shoes and your singing voices as we create the ultimate flavour of the old school. Flavour of the old school. Flavour of the old school.
Are you looking to advertise your business on the radio? However big or small, we are happy to support and work with you with fabulous packages that suit your budget. Radio 2 Funky are offering half price on all advertising taken out for the January period. For more information or to place an advert, please contact Sam at radio2funky.co.uk or call 079 444 58062. Radio 2 Funky 95 FM, Leicester's black music and art station.
PVP Promotions presents the launch of Suave. Suave launches with the Valentine's Gala Dinner and Dance Edition. Saturday, 11th of February at the luxurious Grand Botanical Suite, Digbeth, Birmingham. We start with the dinner and dance from 6 till 11 p.m, featuring a 3-course Valentine's meal by Birmingham's #1 chef, Chef Bing. Then from 11 till 3 a.m, it's the after party, featuring Mark Ryder, Double Impact, Gavin Omari, Dems, GZ, Mr. Len and Frisky DJ. Ladies dress in pink or white or both. Men suits, shirt and ties and blazers. No sportswear, no denim, strictly for the over 25s. Suave is a ticket-only event, available from the ticketsellers.co.uk and tubes.com. So if you're tired of the same old, then come and try Suave for the classy, mature, sophisticated people. Saturday, 11th of February, the launch of Suave, the Valentine's Gala Dinner and Dance at the luxurious Grand Botanical Suite, Digbeth, Birmingham. Couples or singles, everybody welcome.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio2Funky or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain. Wearing it round my neck, I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be hot stepping, y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it,
Get in touch with us at Radio2Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07554180330.
And that was Golden with Jill Scott, and it's 11:08. And we're talking money and marriage, brackets, relationships in terms of when you're cohabiting. Again, the B word. The B word is budgeting. It's surprising actually, a very low number of households actually do a household budget. Now, if you're thinking budget and you're thinking, I want to grab a pencil and I want to sort of do something to my eyes, I'd rather watch paint dry. Let me tell you, a budget can be a very powerful, liberating tool. It's not about restriction. It's not about wearing a hair shirt. It can be a very powerful thing. And in that budget, you're thinking about ultimately, what do you want to do as a couple? What do you want to do as a family? You know, what's the 12 months? You know, is it a holiday you're looking to spend investing in the house? You want to buy new furnishings? Whatever it is you want to do, you want to move to a house, you want to buy a new property, whatever it is you're doing as a couple, your budget is a good way to tell your money where you want it to go there as well. You put in there things like the household spend, what you're committed to, food and all the rest of it. Check your bank statements, go through those bank statements. Amazing, by the way, isn't it? On those subscriptions, the things going out, we're not always sure what they are. Look at your utility bills, look at your cost for your Sky. Also, shouldn't have mentioned any specific there. Look at the things of your TV, your internet connections, and all the rest of it. Look at it and actually plan and budget there what you're going to be spending on the essentials. Typically, it's the 50-30-20 rule here to make sure that money is allocated towards that essential things like your rent and your mortgage, your gas bills, electric bills, of which there are obviously things like financial support there. Make sure you put money aside to take care of some of those, what I will call pleasurable things. So, you know, it's not just about just spending on the essentials. You've got to obviously eat. You might want to treat yourself. You might want to go to the cinema, the theatre, a concert, a birthday bash, whatever. But think about where your money's going. Think about what you're going to be doing. And you've got to share that together. Don't leave it on the shoulders of just one individual there as well. To have a budget, and a budget, again, it will seem tedious. It will seem quite torturous. You probably think I've got to be a maths expert. Far from it. But you've got to think about what you're spending money on, and you've got to make sure that you can do the best to make sure that it's effectively spent in the right direction. Anybody who watches any of these money consumer programs are fantastic. So we know, for example, like internet prices have gone up by 14%, and we're very inert, aren't we, as individuals? I'm terrible at this sometimes. We don't always change things like banks, utility providers, internet providers, phone providers, because it seems like a lot of aggravation, a lot of hassle. These companies are getting more and more geared up to that, by the way, to do that, and they're relying on us not to take any direct action, not to do anything to do that as well. So the B word, I thoroughly recommend it. It's a great way to reduce your anxiety, to reduce stress, remove the fear of the unknown and all the rest of it. And planning ahead what's going on in your household financially is a real powerful thing to do. And the couples have got to share that, and you've got to sort of contribute to that as a collective there as well. Lots of apps, lots of things you can do on spreadsheets, lots of applications, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune. Even your bank will probably provide some free applications to do that. Now, again, I'm not saying get obsessive, but connect with it nevertheless. A couple more things to share with you. Secrets. Now, I'm not saying you should tell your partner exactly every single thing. You're micromanaging it, but try not to keep those secrets to yourself. I mean, they're secrets, aren't they? They would be to yourself. But again, hidden debts, things from your past that might catch up with you. If you've got some issues going on here, personally, financial, and it's impacting your finances, make sure your partner is aware there as well. You don't have to disclose every single purchase that you've done, which makes me ask the question, do you have joint accounts or single accounts? I'll tell you what mine is after we hear another track, and this is one from With Me or Not by JB.
I love you, Benji.
I wanna know if they're with me or not. Gotta watch y'all call my friends, they've been plotting to take my spot. Me and the man, I'ma come a long way. We used to do in college. I was in the school playground when I should've kicked ball at storage. Doing things that I weren't proud of. Fake friends are the ones that gave me courage. They weren't there when I needed a helping hand, and things went south like Dulwich. It's not easy being a guy in the public eye. I keep myself to myself, I try not to share too much when I post online. And I'm DTB, right till the day I die. All the time I'ma take girls in if it's Tennessee Ruby Rose or Snoochie Shine. Gotta watch you call your mate. Gotta watch what I post online, I don't wanna get done like Andrew Tate. And I'm wearing a mask and I fly uptown with a babe cause the kid's too big. And I'm guessing it gets that way. Post a location after we're gone like Cinch, I don't wanna get caught on date. I wanna know if they're with me or not. Gotta watch you, I call my friends, they've been plotting to take my spot. Look, getting dragged down by your own people, it's not easy staying on top. It's only now that I see these they've been asking me how I've been, I can say that I'm good, but I'm really not. Can't talk with the way that I feel inside. I got hurt by a imagine she was blaming the way that the stars are aligned. I done said I was way too kind. Lately I've been losing track, I've been feeling behind. I took a vacation off the grind, but I swear I'ma catch up in perfect time. See, it's way too cold on my block, so I brought me a Canada Goose. Struggled to pay them bills back then, I was minimum 8 on my brand new shoes. I was the one that they wanted to lose, now I'm up, gotta watch what I say or do. Fall in love with a low-key girl, right? Insta babe, I don't know what to choose. I wanna know if they're with me or not. Gotta watch what I call my friends, they've been plotting to take my spot. Look, getting dragged down by your own people, it's not easy staying on top. It's only now that I see these they've been asking me how I've been, I can say that I'm good, but I'm really not. I wanna know if they're with me or not. Gotta watch what I call my friends, they've been plotting to take my spot. Look, getting dragged down by your own people, it's not easy staying on top. It's only now that I see these they've been asking me how I've been, I can say that I'm good, but I'm really not. I wanna know if they're with me or not. Gotta watch you, I call my friends, they've been plotting to take my spot. Look, getting dragged down by your own people, it's not easy staying on top. It's only now that I see these they've been asking me how I've been, I can say that I'm good, but I'm really not.
Get in touch with us at Radio2Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07555 18030.
It's 11:15 on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM, Leicester's premier black music and art station, with your host with you till 12 o'clock, Mahmood, here on the Arts Business Show, and that was With Me or Not, JB. Now, my final thought on money and marriage brackets living together is about how you deal when you've got disagreements and arguments, because it does happen. And I think critical the language that you use, the way that you approach those conversations, because money is not an easy thing to discuss and talk about. I'll share this, I'm sure she won't mind. I've been married for 23 years, and me and my wife, we have separate individual accounts, but we've had that conversation right from the beginning about who's going to be responsible for what. We make it as equitable as possible. We have a common fund where we've got common expenditure. She takes care of some things, I take care of the other. I'm not interested in what she spends her money on, and I don't mean that flippantly. She earns it. What she spends it on is entirely her choice, and all the rest of it. She's a grown-up, she's an adult, likewise. But, we talk about it, we have those goals, we know what we both want to go towards. I'm not saying it's always been straight sailing and all the rest of it, if that is such a phrase, but the language you use to talk about money, especially with, however your attitudes to money have been formed, you've got to be carefully done. So watch out the language. If you feel somebody is spending more than they should be in the house, if you've got a joint fund, for example, don't use words like irresponsible, reckless, and all the rest of it. Understanding about what's going on is really important. So again, language, how you do that, not shutting somebody down, all that will happen is people adopt intractable positions here, and you're not really going to move forward as such. Now, I doubt if I'm going to be getting a changing career as a marriage guidance counsellor, but having been a former counsellor long time ago, and dealing with money for most of my life in some guises, I know that if we don't deal with it properly in a right, positive, healthy approach, it creates problems, not only in our relationships, but also it happens in our businesses as well. So we need to have that healthy attitude towards money in business as much as we do in our relationships. And that will be a topic for another day, about having that healthy money mindset in your business. But for me particularly, what I want to talk today was about money and relationships, how it can be a really powerful thing, how it can bind couples together, make you stronger, but also how it can be very fractious and cause major problems as well. And I don't want that for you. a bulletin, some music, and then we're going to be talking about marketing tricks for your projects, your community groups, and the like. Now, on the 29th of January, which is 3 days away, we have a big record fair. I saw this on Eventbrite as well. So this is the UK's biggest record fair. And where is it coming to? It's coming to Leicester this Sunday. If you're a collector, then this event is for you. There's going to be records across a whole wide range of genres, from progressive rock, Britpop, punk rock, soul, reggae, hip-hop and more. So make sure you check it out. Now, parking is free. There is catering on site, and the admission times are between 10 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. with a £3 entry on the door. Where's it taking place, I hear you ask? Well, it's taking place at Elston Leisure Centre, and if you want a postcode to put in your trusty sat-nav, LE2 6 Uniform D, or Delta, if you want to be crazy. The day before that, on a Saturday, is 2 Funky's birthday bash. Now, that's a 26th birthday party. This Saturday, you got your tickets yet? Well, if not, you can still get them. There's still a few left over via Skiddle. There's going to be 6 rooms of music. You've got DJs playing the very best of tunes in all genres, as well as the big music headliners. You've got General Levy, Rampage Sound, Godfathers of Garage, Chris Goldfinger, and Reggie Styles. And the event is going to be nothing but super great vibes, full of amazing company. Hope you can make it. Get yourself down there this Saturday for that. This is a wonderful track by Hit 'Em Where It Hurts by Poor Rod.
Sunshine, baby, lately life been crazy. Your eyes tell all, we outside with it, your call. Move me, need me, care about it, breathe deep. You see what I miss, holding on to you with a tight grip, lightly, no cap, heart spilled all over the floor, man. Tongue out, I don't know how to hold that. Nowadays, I don't really wanna hold back. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. I've been down with you, you've been down with me. We know this ain't all talk. I've been down with you, you've been down with me. We know this ain't all talk. I'm on a quest, Lord, learn my roots. Think that black dog, this my truth. This that tipping point, this that proof. Go ahead, spark it up, we off mute. Loud and clear now, that sound good. Life in motion, like it should. Came a long way, played that long game. Yesterday gone, we on the way. Yeah. Saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. Yeah. Saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. Yeah. Saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. Yeah. Saw it on where it hurt. Said a lighthouse search. I've been down with you, you've been down with me. We know this ain't all talk. I've been down with you, you've been down with me. We know this ain't all talk. Says a lighthouse search. Says a lighthouse search. Says a lighthouse search.
This is Radio 2 Funky.
Yes, indeed, Radio 2 Funky here. Just gave you a little taster of the next track to come. And this is back in Calvario. It's 11:23, Hidden Where It Hurts, Poor Rod for you. Now, do you have a community project going on? Do you run a social enterprise? Do you run a charity? Do you run a not-for-profit group? Do you run a project in your local community and you want more people to get engaged, more people to know about it, more people to come and visit it, participate in it? I.e., do you want to market and promote yourself more actively and get more people involved and integrated? Well, if so, this next section, this next slot is for you. If you're generally marketing promotion, you can take some things from this, by the way, and adapt it. And if you're a musician thinking about how do I get people to access my music, come to my concerts, build up my audience, then I've got a show for you next week where we're going to focus on that more specifically and share some thoughts and tips with you for that. So again, more info coming out there on the flyer. If I get my act together, that flyer will go out for tomorrow. Watch out for it. It'll have some more information on there for you to take notice. But for now, let's talk about not-for-profit groups, social community groups, and all the rest of it. What do you actually do there? Now, effectively, you've probably, well, not probably, let's be more specific here, folks. Your project should have an aim, a purpose, and a mission. Make sure you've got a focus and you've got clarity on what that purpose is. So who is it aimed for? Who are you serving? What's the outcomes? What's the purpose? What's the features? What's the benefits that somebody who gets involved with your project, with your organisation, will get from that? Far too many people will talk about the product, the describing what the thing is about, and that's great. You need to know what's involved. You need to know what that's made up of. But most of us who will buy things, engage with something, we buy things, believe it or not, and we act and behave predominantly based on emotion, based on predominantly what's in it for us, based predominantly what are we going to get out from that, what's the reasons to be involved, and we've got to shift our focus and way of thinking about that at the outset. So think clearly, what is your purpose, your focus? We live in this very competitive time-space world where we're competing for other people's attentions. So much noise going on here. So the easier it is you've got clarity and focus as to what it is you're doing, your mission, your purpose, your outcome, then you'll know better the people out there, the organisations out there that are going to be interested in what you've got to offer, your organisation, your project, your group, what is it you're doing. They're the ones that you want to talk to as such. Far too many people will do a scattergun approach, just sending out a general message perhaps on Facebook and other things, and expect everybody out there to be within their target audience, target group. And it doesn't work that way. And the big thing I think you can adopt here is what I think is a really important attribute in life anyway, is empathy. Put yourself in the shoes of your audience. So look at what you're doing, look at what your messaging is, look at what you're offering as though you were them. So empathise, put yourself into their shoes and look at it from their perspective, and then think, what is the problem? What is the thing that you're trying to deliver, you're trying to produce from your organisation? And that's where you're going to get a nice little bit. Now, if you're thinking, well, I know this, Mahmood, you don't have to tell me. I challenge you, folks. How do you know? Have you asked people? Do you carry out surveys? Do you have a community group already? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you have a mailing list? Do you have people that engage with you? How often do you talk to them and ask them that question? Now, there's lots of free stuff out there, folks, by the way. So, e.g., there is survey software. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention specifics, but there is survey software. Ask Mr. Google and he'll help you. That is free. There's no subscription cost. There's no commitment. You can actually get a real good active mailing list. You can ask people that way. So ask them, do a little mini survey. So making sure you've got that. Lots of other things that you can do as well. Create a network. Okay, so you may not have those skills, by the way, to market your organisation, to send out, to write copy, to put adverts together, to think about what it is you're trying to promote and actively. So recruit individuals. There are lots of people, if you're running a voluntary organisation, not-for-profit group, check out, advertise for volunteers. If there's somebody in your trusteeship, is there somebody within your organisation who may have skills that you're not aware of? Do a skills gap audit gathering there as well and find out who has got those skills that you need. It's from writing messages, it's getting those messages out there, it's the design and all the rest of it. And maybe if you've got it, you can actually get some money together as well. So having that in mind, what do we do armed with all that information? Well, what we do, we've got to share it. You can't just think people should know about me. I've put a couple of posts up there, and therefore that's how they're going to find out. You need to exert yourself. You need to apply yourself. You need to have energy. You need to go out there and be more active. You've got to whether you're raising awareness, promoting a one-off event, advertising your group, and generally speaking, it can seem quite overwhelming, especially if there's only one or two of you and you don't have all the time. So focus is really important here. So having identified who your audience is, who is it that is going to be your target here, you can find out where they hang out, find out something about them. Some people like to use this idea of avatars to describe them. So Joe 27, Atish 33 does this. This is what he likes doing. So do you have a typical thing like a profile? And please don't say everybody is interested, because they're not. If you're a butcher, you would not be promoting to vegetarians. And if you're a vegetarian group, you would not be going to a butcher and saying, you know, become one overnight and all the rest of it. So match your audiences, find out where they hang out, find out what they do, and that way you can find out the best platforms to do. And I would certainly say at this stage, folks, please, social media is not the only answer. There are lots of wonderful things we can do beyond social media that will be really, really beneficial to us.
Are you a small business looking to get your message heard? Why not advertise with us? We have a range of ideas that can help grow your business, cut through the social media noise, and talk directly to your audience. Contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Don't believe radio works? You're listening, aren't you?
DJ YK Mule. Yeah. Mommy, I don't fall for this, babe. So my way I suppose concentrate. But you know, leave my mind. Come make you run away. Come make you run away. Come make you run away. Yeah. Mommy, I don't fall for this, babe. So my way I suppose concentrate. But you know, leave my mind. Come make you run away. Come make you run away. Mommy, I don't fall for this, babe. So my way I suppose concentrate. But you know, leave my mind. Come make you run away.
This is Radio 2 Funky.
It is indeed. Welcome back. We're talking about marketing community groups here. That was Yanthem DJ YK Mule. It's 11:33. 27 minutes of the show to go. We're going to get a lot in here. So let me talk about continuing about marketing your community group here. Now, before we proceed, that idea of marketing, by the way, marketing is a bit more than just advertising and promotion. If you ask a marketeer, if you get into that conversation with them, they will say marketing is basically a blend of lots of different things. It's about how much you should be charging for what you're offering to your audience. It should be about where it takes place, physically, online, virtual, or otherwise. It should be about promotion, building up awareness of that. And it should be about the product itself. What is it about? And when I say product, by the way, I'm also wrapping up the idea of a service within that idea. So it's a management of all those elements together that constitutes marketing as well. It's about having a way to capture information about the audiences, who they are. It's about understanding what their behaviors are. Remember what we were saying earlier, behavior, emotion is a real powerful tool in a toolkit, and about 85-90%, it sounds a massive, of our decisions are based on our emotional responses, not our logical ones. The logic comes to support our thought processes, but most of us, even though we're supposed to be rational human beings, don't behave rationally when we buy something. The logic comes there to actually reinforce and support our decisions that we've actually made. Look around you, think about all the adverts that you've succumbed to, things that persuade you to buy something, and then you can delve deeper and you can understand where the emotional triggers come into play. Also, be patient. It takes about 7 interactions with somebody before they buy from you. But before we get to that stage, it's about how do we get our messaging out. So again, social media, there's a lot of noise there. So if you are going to participate, choose your platform. Don't try and be everything to everyone on all the platforms. Your messaging, what you say, making sure it's relevant, make sure it's pertinent to the point. There's a thing that they use in the copy world called AIDA, A-I-D-A. And when you write copy, when you write messaging, you should have those 4 elements embedded in what you write, in what you communicate there as well. AIDA represents, by the way, attention. So if you imagine if you're doing a conventional thing like a flyer for an event, a poster for an event, does it grab somebody's attention? So whether it's by the visuals, the messaging, then make sure, obviously visually, you make somebody stop in their tracks and you grab their attention. You need to create the interest in what you're offering them. The desire. So think about the idea of you're about to be served your favourite meal there. You've got somebody's attention. That's not offer. You've got the interest, the desire. And ultimately, I think this last bit is missed out by a lot of people. What is it you want your audience to actually do? If they read a message, if they see a flyer, if they see a communication, if they see a blog post, if they hear you on the radio, what is it you actually want them to do? What marketers call, what's the call for action? Do you want them to buy straight away? Do you want them to contact you for further details? Do you want them to book a space? Do you want them to just send you their email address? Do you want them to take a document from you, like what's called a lead magnet? So what's the action point that you wish your audience to actually do? AIDA, all AIDA should have that copy. At the end of each one, don't be wary about, telling somebody what you want them to do there as well. And remember, it's got to be consistent as well. When you send out messages, most people will have to send it out more than once. And don't think, oh my gosh, they've seen this several times, they're going to get bored with it. The likelihood is, by the way, for example, when you send out a social media post, when you send out an email, when you send out communication, rule of thumb, about 1 to 3% of people will actually see that for the first time. Because just think about yourself. An email comes to you. Do you read it straight away? No, you put it one side. You're going to pick it up later on. And think about all the other emails, the messaging that comes thereafter. Likelihood is you'll have missed it. So in a very busy, chaotic world we live in, messages don't always get actioned and read straight away. So don't worry and beat yourself up over it. It means you've got to be consistent. You've got to keep doing that. And you'll get through if it's clear. You've got visuals. Other things you can do. Local town Facebook groups. So Facebook, for example, can split itself into local regions. So if you're operating in a particular region, make sure you connect with that other business owners, project leaders, members of your community. Form a good network. The network is great to support you, but also it's a good distribution channel there as well. WhatsApp groups are becoming much more powerful. So with people's permissions, you know, collect their phone numbers. You might want to set up a WhatsApp group there to communicate with them directly. And I believe it's still free, so that's a great inexpensive way of doing it as well. Facebook Insights tab on your project page. You can see who's visiting you, who's checking you out. Can you share more resources with your audiences and members, like how-to, fact sheets, blogs, guys? I know this is all time-consuming. I'm just giving you some thoughts. You know, just decide what you've got the time and the space to actually do. Scheduling stuff. So you are a social media person. You want to get that out there. You've got lots of posts. Use your scheduling suite. So there's software out there. There's a way you can actually say, here's what I want to promote. This is the platform that I'm using. And you can schedule them. Don't overdo it, by the way, because you want to maintain that element of authenticity as well. Voice rest box time. Let's hear from Sean Cootie and Black Thought, our next track.
Who's got the Batman lighter? The place now. Who's got the Batman lighter? The place. Anywhere I day feel funky. Anywhere my people they feel funky.
Blocker, and I've been cooking in the hot sun. When push come to shove, I'm a bad man. Say on yes, young king, we got one. See you when we eatin' and they food from the pot done. Tell the people hold them heads and eyes up so we can organize the youth to rise up. I'm not a colonizer, sympathizer. Me and all my franchises been survivors, sons and fathers meant for progress at all costs. Any minor setbacks is but a small cause. Not enough pressure for me to call the dogs off. I am more the spirit in charge than all y'all. So what is a messiah to a man? You can try and understand what's a lion to a land. I made history, then history began. Black excellence is what we consistently demand. Push your lighters up.
Who's got the Batman lighter? The place now. Who's got the Batman lighter? The place. Anywhere I day feel funky. Anywhere my people they feel funky. They point the little fingers and they call me the bad man. My brothers and sisters, we roll under the fat one. Cause back the revolution, this bad man lighter. Because back the change of the nation, this bad man lighter. And it got me still insane, yeah. And it got me feeling insane, yeah. Yeah, so me I want high, so I feel talk to the most high. And if you know high, you need to talk to the most high. Who's got the Batman lighter? The place now. Who's got the Batman lighter? The place. Anywhere I day feel funky. Anywhere my people they feel funky. Supernatural work, supernatural style, supernatural words, supernatural herbs, supernatural work, supernatural style, supernatural words, supernatural herbs.
Get in touch with us at Radio2Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 07554418030.
And that was Sean Cootie and Black Thoughts, Bad Man Lighter. It's 11:43. Let me share some more thoughts with you on getting a message out there. So are you a mailer? Do you email? Do you have an email community that you're building up? Now, I'm not talking about emails where you think grow, not another email, but statistically, by the way, emails are about 30% plus more effective than social media. You own the territory, you own that landscape, it's your list. As long as you don't breach GDPR rules and all the rest of it, you can time when you send it out. Facebook can't change the rules, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms. It's your territory, it's your land. It's about what you want to share with them. So don't think of it as just, this is a very tedious way to communicate. I don't think about the emails that you do get, that you do enjoy, and that you do like. And emailing, if you're going to do it, be consistent. It doesn't mean you've got to do it every day, even though I do know lots of businesses that email every day. It's not about doing it once a week, but be consistent. So if your users know that you're going to get an email from you once a week, once a fortnight, great, but do it. You can tailor it. It's a way to engage and way to inform people about what's going on, and it's a real powerful way to keep in touch with the audience that you're building up. Building up your list over time, effectively, it's a really good way to actually do that. And people who use email marketing effectively find they get fantastic, good results as well. You've got lots of platforms out there to help you free. So Canva, for example, as a design tool, it's free. It's useful there to mock up designs, posters, and all the rest of it. You've got, again, other social media platforms there. Not all of them are going to be relevant for you. Pick one and be an expert in that. Don't dilute yourself and spread yourself across the platforms as well. Again, Team App is another app that you can put on your phone. It's a bit more than WhatsApp. It's quite powerful. It has more features. But again, what you're going to think about is what is it the messages you want to share. Make sure you've got ADA reflected in your copy. Make sure you do things consistently and regularly. Don't expect rapid transformations, by the way, because these things take time. But it is worth it. It's worth investing. I don't think it's a big thing. Think about a website. What do most of us do when we want to check something out? We go and check somebody's profile, or we check the website out. I'm still a big fan of websites having an impact, having a presence. I know lots of people don't have them. But if you're going to have that, have content. Remember our big buddies, Google. Google will sit there, and when a user types in, say, can you tell me something to do on Saturday? What can I go and do? Does anyone deal with well-being? You know, whatever it is they're looking for, make sure you've got the answer for them. So again, what this website looks like, by the way, is not as important as the content that's on there, and doing the SEO, making sure that's maximized to its hill. So things like making sure that the tags behind the scene are done correctly, making sure the technical bits on the website are there serving it, but actually putting your content on a website, putting it on YouTube, second biggest search engine after Google, is a powerful way of doing that. Take a breath. Let's have a track. This is called 50s by Heady One, and we're going to wrap the show up.
I left my yard filled with 50s, didn't remember my bank card. I really wish bro was with me, he got an 8 on his back like Lampard. That can't be up, tryna diss me, he was in the interview room singing ballads. He ain't on a damn thing, he's a wallad. Like how you don't feel embarrassed, bad B looking on Nicki Minaj. Plus I got a spaceship in my garage, my young boy went over there, something, he did a sauna and a massage. You know me, I kick back and manage. Sent them with a rush and I thought that day I was feeling like Van Hal. It's a struggle to talk about, when you're factual, I can get nicked and end up cancelled. So I'd rather go uptown and spray a little D or Savage. I was upside giving out pictures, done it so much, could've turned to a collage. They to the budge but love the more like Nigel Farage. I scream first cause I've been harassed. I was on Eagle, bros on Manad. What you mean it won't take cash in Van Cleef? And then it has a boycott Harrods. Come on, the hood's too hot. It's a first class flight to Accra. Why they wanna put boiled egg in my salad? I left my yard filled with 50s, didn't remember my bank card. I really wish bro was with me. He got an 8 on his back like Lampard. That can't be a tryna diss me. He was in the interview room singing ballads. He ain't on a damn thing, he's a wallad. Like how you don't feel embarrassed. Bad B looking on Nicki Minaj. Plus I got a spaceship in my garage. My young boy went over there, put something into the sauna and a massage. You know me, I kick back and manage. Sent them with a rush and I thought that day I was feeling like Van Hal. It's a struggle to talk about progress, cause I don't want no flowers. All I ever wanted was roses. I gave them a debut album. It's mad how the time's flown since COVID. I'm alive and free and everything more is a bonus. They wanna compare me to jokers. Everybody wanna be a trending rapper. Try to be a longevity rapper. Getting it good, trying to be in the streets. Just getting it backwards. Anyway, back to the matter. I might drop a joint tape with shh. The fans calling for Martin Sofa. It might be the first single from my second. I left my yard filled with 50s, didn't remember my bank card. I really wish bro was with me. He got an 8 on his back like Lampard. That can't be a tryna diss me. He was in the interview room singing ballads. He ain't on a damn thing, he's a wallad. Like how you don't feel embarrassed. Bad B looking on Nicki Minaj. Plus I got a spaceship in my garage. My young boy went over there, put something into the sauna and a massage. You know me, I kick back and manage. Sent them with a rush and I thought that day I was feeling like Van Hal.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio2Funky or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
50s headline 1. Now, folks, it's 11:50 nearly. Remember, digital is great, and I think it's impossible to really have an effective growing organisation, doing a project, having a business, unless you engage with the digital world. Nobody's dissing that. But also, it's not all about digital. You know, as the phrase would be, keep it real. Don't forget engaging with human beings, going out, networking, visiting, attending things, seeing people in person, building up relationships and networks that way is a fantastic way of doing it as well. So you've got, again, lots of ways to do it digitally. Make sure you've got a focus, make sure you've got a plan, make sure you know what the end outcome is going to be, who you want to talk to and all the rest of it, and be consistent. Have a plan. I'm going to get that P word in there, and you will find that over time it will have a massive impact. Now, next week's show is going to be about music promotion, but I need to tell you about the wonderful DJs who are going to follow me. From 12 o'clock, you've got Sandro, 12 till 2 with Rhythm Nation. Wayne McDonald, Sugar Radio, 2 till 4. And then you've got Brett Costello, Urban Meltdown, 4 till 6. And Vibes, LVT, 6 till 8. Roller Funk, 8 till 10. And then wrapping up the day, DJ KMS, the golden age of hip-hop, 10 till 12. Got some wonderful, we've got brilliant DJs here. So tune in, listen to them. I hope you got something out of today's show. Let me know what you think. Contact us. info@radio2funky.co.uk, Market Arts Business Show. Watch out for the flyer for next week's show and all the rest of it. Have a great week. If it's your birthday today, celebrate it. I think I've got time, haven't I, to get one more bulletin in? I think I do. Yes, I do. It's the Young People's Nomination 2023. Now, if there's somebody that you know who's aged between 13 and 19 in full-time education in Leicester or Leicestershire, then you could nominate them for a special award, one of 4 categories, and this is celebrating the achievements of young people, the best examples. And young people, I think they're brilliant. I think people per se are brilliant, all the rest of it. But here's an opportunity to recognise the wonderful things they do. Finalists are going to be invited to a special award ceremony, by the way. There's a £500 prize up for grabs. How do you find out more? Visit www.leicestershire.gov.uk. More details on there as well. It hasn't got a closing date on the nominations, but I'll check them out sooner rather than later. They can be a member of your own family. They can be somebody that you know, somebody you come across, somebody who's done some wonderful things there. Check out the website, put them into a nomination, make their day. Folks, I'm going to finish for my end now with this She Is by Carl Thomas, followed by Savannah and Skip Marley. And until next week, stay positive, stay true, stay harmonious. And if you are going to be talking money with your partner, remember language, shared goals, the B word, and that will help tremendously.
Oh,
Split up in the AMG. Satellite radio, you next to me. Legs like Nestle, they constantly test me. I'm clear that the rest be trying to out-finesse me. But love is real, I can tell how it feel. Say what you want, but keep your lips sealed. You can run your mouth, talk extra slick and strip in front of the plasma. Yes, it's sickening. Belly dance for your man, make eye contact, make the player react. In fact, crawl on the bed while your man's laid back. Run your pedicure across my six-pack. Hold my dice, baby, roll for ice. You free to move around, I won't control your life, but just keep you heated. Treat you how you want to be treated. You got an appetite for love, I'll feed it.
Like my favorite scene in the best movie. Like the air that I breathe, that's what she is to me. Like a song I just wrote, or like coming home when I've been gone too long. That's what she does for me. I wanna always have this feeling. Ooh, your love is so amazing. Tell me, baby. Tell me that you'll never go. A lover's hug when you first fall in love. And girl, it means so much when you're out of touch. It's like seeing you for a moment or two. Girl, the thought of you is what gets me through. I wanna always have this feeling. Ooh, your love is so tell me, girl. Tell me that you'll never go. She's the light the sun would bring. Everything that means everything I need. Yeah, what she is to me. Heavenly, she's how the world looks to someone who's never seen. What she is to me. That's what she is. What she is to me. I don't think that words can't describe exactly how you make me feel inside. Never in my life have I been so in love. She's a light, someone bring. She's a light, yeah. That the sun would bring. What she is to me. She's how the world looks to someone who's never seen. Someone who never, never. Someone bring everything that the sun would bring. Yeah. What she is, so heavenly, so someone who's never seen. She makes me feel. That's what she is, so good.
Bad boy, baby.
So
LL.
CT.
Carl Thomas.
This is Radio2Funky.
Vanna in a dancehall style. I love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go.